Get up! Get up! A familiar chorus of sweet voices reached Issei, and for some reason, a bad premonition began to stir inside him. Get up! Brother, if you don't get up! The realization of what would happen next instantly dawned on him. His body reflexively flew off the bed, thud, but he snagged the edge of the blanket and crashed to the floor. I will tickle you! I will tickle you! Damn it! Ugh. He groaned, rubbing his long-suffering nose. I need to throw this alarm clock out. Issei prepared himself for the likely continuation of the standard Wickel procedures, but this time something was different. Glancing at the source of the second sweet voice, he spotted his little sister. Crouching, she shone with a dazzling smile of the morning sun, and her clear sky-blue eyes illuminated the desperate darkness of his lost soul with the light of hope. And honestly, this image made a lump form in his throat. Brother, I think you should get dressed. It seemed her smile could make even the cacti on the windowsill bloom. The anxiety only intensified. For my sister to be this sweet, is this really my sister? But the next moment, the meaning of the phrase registered, and he felt a draft. Glancing down, he realized, why am I naked? Issei shot up and wrapped himself in the blanket. You're lucky, brother. I knew that sooner or later you would find a girl who truly appreciates you, and now I'll leave you too. And fluttering off the floor like a mischievous forest fairy, she skipped toward the door. Just beyond the threshold, she winked, illuminating that dreary doghouse once last time with her angelic light. Huh? His brain hung at 1% capacity, processing the incoming information. A sexy voice came from the bed, and when he looked toward the source, long crimson hair caught his eye. A beautiful maiden, the woman of his dreams, was stretching on his bed, showing off her perfect figure. Her large breasts swayed in time with her movements, mesmerizing him with their lovely curves. His eyes couldn't tear themselves away from the stunning view. But the second the face of the owner of those charming forms finally came into view, Ria-senpai? Why was Ria-senpai in my room? No, in my bed? No, more importantly, did my sister just see us? And the next moment, the angelic voice, which in his case foretold a path decidedly not to Paradise Groves, was heard. Dad, Mom, Brother is in his room hugging a naked girl. You can start celebrating. I'll drop Brother off at the registry office on my way to work today, came from behind the door. Ba-bam! A crash of something heavy falling to the floor followed from the kitchen. I knew it. For my sister to be that sweet. Impossible. What do I do now? You have a funny little sister. Ria-senpai's voice reached him. Issei watched as senpai got out of bed and reached for her school uniform. Oh, she's amazing. Slender legs, large breasts, and the curves of her waist. This was the best day of his life. At this moment, even thoughts of his sister completely evaporated from his mind. He could only stare blankly as the beautiful senpai slowly put on her underwear. Senpai, I can actually see everything. Well then, feast your eyes. She smiled playfully. Seriously, she is a goddess. What sweet words those were. How much I had missed them. He was moved to his core. Tears even welled up in his eyes. How is your stomach? Huh? He reflexively touched his stomach without taking his eyes off her curves for a second. You were stabbed in the stomach yesterday. And only at that moment did he fully wake up from his fantasies. Fear suddenly surged. He remembered yesterday's events. Right, that evening some guy with black wings put a hole in him. Then there were gunshots and... But wait, wasn't that a dream? And why am I alive? He glanced down, but there was no scar. No trace of the wound. It hurt so much then, but now everything is fine. Was it really a dream? Yesterday was everything real. She seemed to read his thoughts. But, but why am I still alive then? I healed you. I shared my demonic energy with you. We slept like that all night. Eh? What? Did we really? And by the way, I'm still a virgin. His thoughts seemed to be written all over his face. Suddenly, she moved closer and stroked his cheek. She smelled so pleasant. He literally wanted to bury himself in her chest. He blushed from the attention, and his heart pounded with triple the force. This is the care and kindness I've been lacking. This is the true angel. And yes, I am a demon, and also your master. Nice to meet you, Hyodo Issei-kun. They walked to school together with Ries-senpai. His heart was beating like crazy. He was on cloud 9. He couldn't wait to see the faces of Motahama and Matsuda, but his reflections were interrupted by this beautiful goddess. Issei-kun, haven't you noticed anything strange about your sister? She said thoughtfully. Strange? She's a walking strangeness herself. He could confidently assert that as her brother, having lived with her for over a decade, especially regarding her true nature. But even if he told Ries, she wouldn't believe him anyway. Even Matsuda and Motahama didn't believe him. Or, wait, his sister really did act strange today, especially at breakfast. Okay, excluding her behavior in the room. There, she most likely acted that way because of Ries-senpai. But to think her angel mask didn't crack even in such a situation. She didn't even blush. What level had his sister's acting talents reached? Divine? That was truly terrifying. But no, regarding other strangenesses, she really behaved unnaturally at breakfast. How did Ries-senpai so easily convince not only my parents, but also her, that what happened was just a misunderstanding? Ries-senpai, how did you so easily convince my parents that it was a misunderstanding? And my sister, too. That was truly unusual for her. Otherwise, we really would have gone to the registry office. Oh, nothing special. I told you I'm a demon, didn't I? Just ordinary hypnosis. She lit up the area with her smile. Don't worry, there will be no consequences. It's completely safe. Suddenly, her beautiful face distorted and she pressed her left hand to her chest. A noticeable burn mark was there. Are you hurt, Ries-senpai? Oh, this? Don't worry, just a scratch. She smiled, then thoughtfully added in a whisper, I must have imagined it. He found her reaction a little strange. Why was she suddenly interested in his sister? He hadn't noticed them crossing paths before. Oh my God, why is that animal with Ria-sama now? It's not enough that he has Tani-sama. Now he's laid his hands on Ria-sama too? He must be blackmailing them with something. Poor Tani-sama, poor Ria-sama, sob. Angry shouts from the girls came from all sides. Some even burst into tears watching him and Ries-senpai walk to school. No, reacting like this is a bit much, don't you think? Though this was to be expected, especially considering their reaction every time he walked to school with his sister. Oh well, who cares? It's not every day you get a chance to come to school with such a beautiful girl. Matsuda and Motahama can eat their hearts out. As expected, as soon as they passed the main gate, the designated faces made themselves known. Issei, you bastard! What is the meaning of this? A right hook flew from Matsuda. Hey, at least hold back a little. You were an athlete before you joined our gentlemanly club. After all, Issei complained to himself, rubbing his jaw. Tani-chan isn't enough for you, and now you're with Ries-senpai? Unforgivable! A blow landed on his liver from out of nowhere. Motahama, are you a ninja? I didn't even see you. He bent over double. Despite their warm greetings, his smile wouldn't fade. Ha ha, eat your heart out, losers. I'm in the major leagues now. Don't think you'll get off that easy, you bastard. They clamped him in a synchronized vice grip. But despite his rather pathetic appearance, Issei was ecstatic inside. Haha, Matsuda, Motahama, have you ever seen real female breasts? I had a revelation this morning. Unforgivable! Unacceptable! Choking in their friendly embrace, he heard Senpai say one last thing. Issei, I'll send for you after classes. Yes! Today was the best day of his life. Do dreams really come true? In class, during the long break while eating lunch, the three friends were engaged in guessing games. So, gentlemen, who do you think will visit us from the school's upper aristocracy? Place your bets. I bet a collector's edition of Strawberry 37 that it will be Akino-senpai. I want to see her up close. I'll save those frames forever. Ooh, she has such The bald gentleman, Matsuda, was imagining what kind she had, so much that he started drooling. Naive. Akeno-senpai is the same age as Grimori-senpai, so why would she come herself? No, it must be one of the Kuhais. If so, the only candidate is Tojo Koneko-chan, objected the gentleman in glasses, Motohama. Oh yes, lolis are the best. She's petite, lovely, and that cold gaze of a higher being. Oh. Issei nodded vigorously. He understood his friend's dilemma like no one else. Yeah, that's great, but I still like it to be Ria-senpai herself. You guys can't imagine what kind she has. Issei started demonstrating the shape with his hands. I saw it with my own eyes. It's simply phenomenal. His friends looked at him sullenly. You bastard, he's still bragging. Matsuda rubbed his bald head. Traitor, make Kiba show up for you. Motohama cursed him. Yeah, with his luck, losing his memory, getting stalked by Yakuza, it will definitely be Kiba. Issei frowned, looking at his friend's encouragements, but immediately relaxed when he recalled the morning scene. Well, male envy is a terrible thing. Issei decided to think maturely. Kya, it's him. He's magnificent as always. Wow, why is he coming here? What a heartthrob, a real knight. The girls suddenly began to chatter. As the intensity of the chatter increased, his worst fears were confirmed. The girls only reacted like that when the handsome bastard Kiba was approaching. Damn it, it's definitely him. You jinxed it. You shouldn't have summoned that jerk here. Issei sighed. Yeah, the situation wasn't good. He also had no desire to hang out with that jerk. He'd rather find Ria-senpai himself, wherever she was. He'd follow her to the ends of the earth. He wanted nothing to do with that piece of trash. But what can I do? Suddenly, various scenarios began to flood his mind, ways to vent his spleen. The only person who could achieve anything immediately came to mind. How would she act? He knew that person for a long time, so he understood how she thought quite well. A plan immediately formed in his head. That's it. Listen up, guys. I have an idea. How about we... Whoa, seriously? Well, that's kind of... No, that jerk definitely deserves this. Come on, pile up the lunch leftovers. The black envy of hungry men is a terrible thing. Issei was convinced once again. The classroom door slid open. The target's foot was already in the doorway. Go! First, a chalk eraser flew at the target from above, a simple trap set by wedging the doorway. The eraser flew precisely toward the target's head, but the target sensed something and dodged sideways. Just as expected from that bastard Kiba, he wouldn't be taken out that easily. But never mind, he had foreseen this. Oops, I accidentally dropped the leftovers of 3 people's lunches with very smelly sauce and netto. Private Matsuda appeared on the left. The projectiles went into battle. But the target noticed this too. He began moving to the right. Wow, tough nut. But never mind, he had foreseen this too. A multi-stage plan. Ouch! I accidentally spilled juice that's impossible to wash out. Look out! And here is Private Motohama cutting off the path from the right side. Nowhere to run, or almost. That bastard was somehow super fast. Issei could barely make it out, but he clearly saw how he was somehow impossibly moving out of the trajectory, avoiding all the charges. No way. Issei's senses were enhanced as always, and he decided to use this to prevent Kiba's escape. No options left. Look out, Kiba, I'll help. Issei personally jumped forward in front of him. Why? Haha, this completely blocked the bastard's escape route. Plans, like those his sister concocted, left no room for failure. He learned this from his sister. He had foreseen everything possible. Amazingly, in just a few moments, Issei was able to see everything in detail and clearly feel the moment to act. He was definitely in good form today. Hatred for the handsome jerk Kiba gave him strength. Issei grabbed him by the shoulder. Contact. Now I can use him as a human shield. But Kiba reacted strangely. He grimaced as if in pain, grabbed Issei, pulled him toward him, and they both fell to the floor together. Thud. Slosh. Splat. All the projectiles hit the target, but alas, the target was no longer the same. Issei himself was used as a human shield. Now his entire uniform was soiled with all the crap they had nixed from their lunches. Moreover, the position they ended up in made it look like, oh, did Hayato help Kiba-kun? He protected him so fiercely. I heard that lately he's been behaving normally around girls and hasn't groped anyone. Could he now be on that side? No, not that. I won't survive if this is the Hayato-Kiba pairing. Please, not that. The girls in the classroom wailed. They pulled out handkerchiefs and cried to each other. Issei looked around. His friends stared at him with wide eyes, not believing what was happening. No wonder, since he was hovering over Kiba, who had landed directly beneath him. Issei himself had become the shield for him. Everything looked as if he really had protected him. Kiba spoke. Thank you, Issei-kun. His smile, especially coming from beneath, sent chills down his spine. Just as the president said, you're a true comrade. No! Issei screamed and shot up from the top. No, don't look at me like that. It's not like that. It's not true. I love boobs. I'm only loyal to boobs. Ah! He flew out of the classroom yelling like the girls he had just caught coming out of the shower room. Issei ran through the school without looking where he was going. He burst outside and ran across the grounds. He was so shocked by what happened that tears welled up in his eyes. He didn't care where he was running. What would happen now? His school life was over. How could he look Matsuda and Motohama in the eyes? He didn't want to think about it. Thwack! He ran into something. Something small but soft. Choom. He liked the feeling. However, it didn't last long. His body suddenly flew into the air and he landed hard on his back. Gah! His breath was knocked out. He opened his eyes. A short-haired, white-haired girl stared at him with a cold gaze, holding his arm. She threw him? Perverted face. He instantly recognized the owner. It was Tojo Kaneko. And where is Kiba-senpai? He should be with you. It was, Issei thought frantically. And when he thought and didn't know what to answer, his thoughts always devolved to one thing. Issei's gaze fell to her chest. He looked and, A sad sigh escaped him. Issei still preferred big girls. A vein throbbed on the little girl's forehead. A moment later, a little foot came down on his face, sending him into the world of dreams. Stop thinking about perverted things! Alas, for him, that was impossible. He sank into the world of dreams, and the Rias Gremory he always fantasized about appeared before him. In his dream, she suddenly emerged from a glowing circle and surrounded him with care, affection, and breasts. But then the bastard Kiba appeared and said, Thanks, Issei-kun. You're a true comrade. Come on, let's get closer. He winked. Ah! He shot up as if from a nightmare. Cold sweat ran down his forehead. His body was shaking. A dream? Was that a dream? He could have sighed with relief. Are you all right, Issei-kun? Can I help you? Kiba appeared. Ah! Issei screamed with double the force and bolted off the couch. In 2 jumps, he reached the wall where a window was visible. Where am I? What happened to you? A pleasant female voice came from the side. The black-haired beauty appeared, and following her, Issei-kun, how are you feeling? Koneko said she found you unconscious in front of our club building. Are you all right? Can I help you? The crimson-haired beauty also approached. Boom, boom, boing, boing. Their nullins were bouncing before his eyes. Issei felt his heart was healing. Bliss. No, I'm fine now, Ria-senpai. He wiped the sweat from his forehead. Everything is fine now. Is that so? Well, if you say so. She sat down on the sofa. come sit down. Let's talk. You must have a lot of questions about the yesterday's incident. The event where he was stabbed with a spear of light flashed in his mind. Right. It had completely slipped his mind. What is happening? And this morning, what did it all mean? Though his figure would forever be saved on his brain hard drive, Rhea Senpai told him amazing things. It turned out that he had become a demon. Yes, a real demon. Incredible, right? They even showed him their wings, demonstrating that it was no nonsense. Another shock was that Yuma-chan, his first beloved and now ex-girlfriend, was actually a fallen angel, and she killed him. Killed him by mercilessly putting a hole in him, literally burning through him. Sad. She had such great breasts. And another fallen angel put a second hole in him yesterday. Put a hole in him. That sounded kind of dirty. Issei didn't like that. He wouldn't mind putting a hole in someone himself, but alas, why does that Kiba keep popping into my head? Shoo, shoo! In short, he became a demon after Yuma-chan killed him. He summoned Rhea Senpai with the flyer he received on the date while waiting for his ex-girlfriend. Well,